All right. Welcome, guys. I'm proud of you all for showing up. I know it's in the middle of your day and in your busy day, and you are here and you're in the moments and you're doing the things, and that's awesome. That's an action that shows belief, and I'm super proud of you for that. I know we all are super proud of you for that. So good job. And if you're not here and you're catching the recording later on, then just make sure to message Brandy or I or together with your takeaways and implementation from the message. So I'm going to talk to you for about 20 minutes. I'm going to try really hard to keep it at 20 minutes. And then Brandy's going to share with you for a little bit as well. So, okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is why you're here, how you're here, and ways of looking at things different. Okay, so a lot of times what we do and how we do things is because how we've always done them in the past and what we know about them. Okay, like I wanted to become a nurse. I didn't really want to become a nurse, but I just didn't know what else to do because my dad was a surgeon, my sister was a nurse. Okay, let's become a nurse, right? It's our thought pattern behind what we know. Because we have the thought pattern behind what we already know, it's the habit of the way that we think. And because we have that habit of the way that we think about things, it continues on and manifests itself into our lives, into our businesses, into our home life, into our relationship with different things like food, drink, friends, family, all of it. It all ties in. So what I want to talk to you about today is moving your business forward and doing it for you in a way that you can reshape a thought model. I'm going to share a thought model with you and the impact and the difference that it is going to make in your life by being very, very intentional. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that the business or life is all rainbows and sunbeams. It's not all about creating positive, like a pretend thought. It's not about like playing pretend and not being realistic about things. It's about creating and rewriting and relooking at something in a different way that's going to serve you and help you and manifest it positively in your life, which I will tell you, there's not always great positive things about it. You can ask any of the emeralds, sapphires, the diamonds. They all have stuff in their businesses that are hard, in their lives that are hard. Nobody ever arrives. Nobody ever gets there fully. We're all learning and we're all works in process. So the quicker that we can accept embracing the thought process of wanting to shape and change the way that we look at things and have different perspectives, the sooner that our feelings will shift, which will cause a direct reflection on our actions, both in our lives and in our businesses. And when we're able to change our feelings, because we're thinking at it differently and our actions change, it will create a new positive feeling in us, which will create a domino effect to continue happening. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what this means. I did not make any of this up. This is actually called the thought model. And you can see Kimmy Yeager over there, number 2, my twin sister that I don't have. She is going to Zoom share with you her thought model process with you. I'm going to share an image with you real quick. Okay. Okay. Can you guys all see this? I actually created this all this morning, so I'm like super proud of myself for getting this all up on here for you. But okay, I'm going to walk through this because you guys, you can do this. And when you are open to making these steps in this thought model a habit for you in your life, it is going to change everything, because you can either change the way that you think about things and the way that you look at things, or you can just keep thinking about doing it and not change the way that you think about things or look at things, and then create and continue the same cycle, which is basically torturing yourself. So I would not encourage that, right? Okay, so you don't want to keep getting those same results. You want to step into change your thoughts, and change your routine. And it's not easy, especially in the beginning until it becomes a habit and until you learn to not be harsh on yourself, because it's not comfortable. And your brain, the way that it's been wired and the way that it's been thinking for your entire life, wants to keep you safe by what's familiar. It's just the way that we are designed to keep us safe. And you have the power to override that and say, no, thank you, I'm just fine, right? It's nothing wrong that you feel that way and that you resist change and you don't want to do uncomfortable things. There's nothing wrong with that. All that means is that you're human, and it's a muscle that we need to strengthen that our culture doesn't teach us. So when we change our thoughts, it is going to change the trajectory. Okay, so you see my picture right there. It talks about, so this is what the thought model is. It's called CTFAR. Circumstances trigger your thoughts. You have a thought which makes you feel a certain way, which generates an action, which causes a result. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. Okay, your circumstance. It's 2 a.m. You get up in the night and the room is really dark and you have to run to the bathroom or get a glass of water or whatever it is. The room is dark. So what do? You think to yourself, oh my gosh, the room is dark, right? I feel unsafe walking around in a dark room, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to turn on the light switch so that the result is you can see what you're doing. Now, you don't walk through that because it's a habit and you've done it so many times in your life. You're not like, oh my gosh, like the room is dark and I'm feeling this way. Like you're not, it's such a pattern that you're not aware of it. But this model happens in every single thing that you do in your day, all day long, continuously, all day long. So you can stop yourself by being super aware of what you're doing, because there's hundreds of circumstances, short circumstances, long circumstances, all throughout our days that produce feelings. And those feelings can either motivate us or they can stop us. Sometimes we have a really exciting feeling. Something really exciting happens and we feel motivated. That's like something like those of you who went to convention, you're at convention. Oh my gosh, they released the reset. Oh my gosh, I think this is so exciting. I believe this is going to grow my business. Like those are your thoughts, right? So you feel empowered, you feel encouraged, which is going to cause you the action of desiring to reach out to your friends and doing the things to get you to move forward. What happens when that feeling wears off from that circumstance of the convention and you're not feeling as motivated by that circumstance? The actions can dwindle, right? Because we're not in those moments anymore. So we have got to realize that we have got to learn to put our feelings aside and know why and what we are doing regardless of our circumstances. I'm not saying we're always going to be like human robots and you guys are never going to feel and you're never going to be affected by anything. You can feel things, right? Sometimes there's really hard things and we can feel those things, but it's just about it not allowing to control our actions, because we have a choice in that, right? And we can rewrite and reframe our thoughts to produce a different feeling. Our brains are super pliable. We can change those to give us an action, which will produce a result, which will change the trajectory of our lives, our businesses, our families, all of that, by just simply embracing it. Okay, so think about this. Like if you have a negative circumstance, like you have a negative message that comes, I don't want to do plexus, no thanks, right? So are you really stopping about what the outcome is in that? No, but they just told you, no, thank you, right? It's a neutral thing. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they don't like you. Does it matter if they don't like you? No, it doesn't matter. Like it's just the emotion that we're attaching to it. So keep the circumstance what it is and reframe it. Okay, I didn't get anybody today. Nobody's interested right now. That is okay. And the reason why it's okay is because it's not for everybody and timing is not for everybody. And I know that I will find people if I trust the process. That will shift your feeling to empowerment instead of staying in the feeling of defeat. Okay, which will change your action, which will change your result. So this really needs to become a habit because we are an emotionally based society, and the quicker we can learn to do this and the better this becomes a habit, the more it can affect your life in a positive way, because this is a cyclical pattern that we do all day long. Here's another example. I'm going to switch my slide right here. Okay, so if you see, I was going to show you this one. So this just shows that I didn't show you this in time, but the circumstance can trigger your thoughts, which is the sentence in your mind about the neutral fact, which is the feelings then happen, which is the vibration of your body described by one word. So we all have feelings, we all have vibrations that happen. It's why, like, when your kids are excited, when they're little, they run around and they run around and they run around. And it's when you're stressed, you just like, I know when my little guy was stressed, he used to like rip on his like eyelashes. I actually had to take him to the doctor about it because he would like pull his eyelashes out when he felt physical stress. I would bite my fingernails. There's energy in our body that is produced that we have to manage and get a hold of, right? There's a physical feeling that only thoughts can shift the trajectory of, which will do the action, the feeling that motivates you to move forward or not to, which will give you a result, which is the direct consequence of the action, right? Which is navigated by your initial thought. So it's all about thought management. Okay, here's a direct one with plexus. I'm going to show you right here, okay? So my thought is, and we've been talking about this so much because Brandy and I want you guys more than anything in the world to have an amazing, empowered thought process about developing business builders. So you have a thought, oh my gosh, I'm a gold. I really want to get to Ruby. I want to get to senior Ruby. I want to be an emerald. I have been at gold forever, right? And I know that I need to get a business builder. So that's your circumstance. The desire to need to get a business builder, duplication to go farther. You have a thought around that, right? So maybe your thought is, oh my gosh, I don't want to post on social media. That's so irritating. Or maybe your thought is, oh my gosh, like nobody would want to do the business. They're just going to feel like they're harassing people. Or maybe your thought is, nobody would ever want to follow me and do this business with me because I suck and I'm a loser as a leader, right? So you have those thoughts. And those thoughts are going to fulfill your self-fulfilling prophecy, which is what the outcome is going to be. So if you want a different result, you have got to shift those thoughts. Okay? What happens when you change it? Okay? Because if you don't change it, you're not going to, what kind of an action and a feeling, like if you're believing nobody wants to follow me, nobody wants to do this with me, I suck, I'm a crappy leader. If you are thinking that, what kind of feelings are you having? Really crappy feelings about yourself, right? Not good feelings. And are you going to go up there and post on social and start talking to your friends in an exciting way if that's what you're feeling? Because that's what you're thinking about? No, you're not. So instead of the thought, nobody wants to follow me, nobody wants to do this with me, I challenge you to reframe it. And the way that you could frame in this circumstance would be, I am mastering this skill of duplication. I'm mastering this. I'm talking with people that are coaching me, guiding me. I have the tools to do it. I've gotten really good at recruiting. I know how to do this. In other areas of my life, in motherhood, in my other careers, I've learned processes and I can do this too. How is that going to change things by shifting that thought? You're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel like you can do it because you changed that. And then what is the action? You're going to have a different trajectory. Instead of that self-fulfilling prophecy of creating that same negative thing and not having any business builders still, you're going to change it. You're going to go talk to people. You're going to tell them about the opportunity. You're going to invite them to stuff. You're going to invite them to events. You're going to be excited. They're going to feel it in your vibe and in your energy, and they're going to do it, right? Maybe not the first person, and that's not going to trigger a negative thought either, right? Because you can manage that. So you're going to create a different result because you've just changed and shifted your thought. And you can break the cycle because you have got to break the cycle in order to create a different outcome. So, okay, I want you this week to pay attention to it. I want you to look at this and notice it all day long in yourself. Okay, it's not going to feel good and it's going to kind of suck, right? So I'm doing my my reset right now. So my circumstances, I'm doing a reset. My thought could be, oh my gosh, this totally sucks. This bone broth tastes like ass, man. Sorry. That could be my thought. Is that going to be me feel good about doing my reset? No, it's not. So I can change my thought and be like, you know what? This is going to serve me. It's going to change my metabolism. It's going to help me. I can add different things to it. Not every food that fuels me needs to taste good. And then I'm going to feel empowered like I can do it. I'm going to keep going, right? Which is going to keep me going. And my results will be positive from that. So look at all of your different circumstances and see what's going to happen, because what's happening is, this is my last slide before Brandy chats with you guys. Here's our vibrational frequency, right? You can feel. So shame and insecurity, which is on the bottom, is the very lowest feeling that you can feel. So your body, when you're in that space, is going to be operating under very not great conditions. You're not going to be your best self when you're in shame or when you're feeling insecure. So changing that thought model will change how you're physically feeling. Everything is a circumstance, you guys. We are the ones that are attaching feelings to it. We're attaching it, even in traumatic circumstances. Now, we're not saying avoid your feelings. You can feel upset. I mean, sometimes when I'm frustrated, Brianna will say, okay, you can have a moment for like 5 minutes to just sit in your feelings, and then we're going to reframe them in a healthy way. You can do that, right? But what happens is when we avoid dealing with it and reframing it, this is key right here. When we avoid reframing it and dealing with it, what happens is we try to get a dopamine dump in a different spot that's not good for us. So I can tell you what that looks like. I was a teacher. When I'm avoiding my recruiting, I'll sit and like coach you guys all day long and do messages all day long because it's like my favorite thing to do, right? When I am avoiding my laundry, which I also hate, everybody knows that I can't freaking stand folding laundry. It's too tedious and it takes too long and I just don't like it. So what will I do? I'll go on my phone because it gives me a dopamine rush and create little images like this and create graphics for our team pages. And I'll do all that stuff because it gives me a dopamine rush that I love. Or you go to the pantry and you'll grab a piece of chocolate, which is not serving you, right? But the other things that we're doing, sometimes we do things that are not actually helping us at all, but we think that they're helping us. They're productive things, but we are using it as a buffer to get dopamine by avoiding something we really need to be doing. So I want you to apply this. And if you're avoiding something, like, okay, let's say you're not recruiting. Let's say you're not getting business builders. I want you to look objectively and say, what's the circumstance in that? Like, am I trying? Am I making an effort? Am I really doing the things? Why not? What's stopping me from that? Lean into that a little bit, right? Am I worried about what people are going to think about me? Like a real rabbit trail it all the way back. And you'll need some support and help around this. And that's like we're in coaching calls or in messaging. Brandy and I can really help you. So just don't buffer on what it is that doesn't matter. Okay. All right. That's all I got. And
Awesome.
Brandy's going to chat at us now. I didn't go over too much. So
Yay, good job. Good job. This is a topic that really.
Okay, I think you're muted, Brandy.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So this is a topic that really we could talk way longer than I have 20 minutes to 30 minutes on because it plays so much into our business. But we just wanted to give you a nugget of that. It is something that we're going to be focusing on all month, though, really every week, all the time. We're going to be helping you reframe those thoughts. Thought coaching is something that's changed me in so many ways, personally and professionally. I do thought coaching with Emily Gibson, and it has been so, so good. So that is something we're going to be helping you with throughout the month. One more example on this before I give us our task is, for example, here is often a circumstance and process that I hear often. So the circumstance is somebody turned off their subscription order. That's it. That's the situation. That's the circumstance. They just turned off their subscription order. Your thought around that circumstance is that nobody wants to do this with me anymore. Nobody wants to order products. Nobody wants to do this. Your feeling around that is that you're a failure. You're not feeling good enough. You're angry. You're frustrated. You feel defeated. And you feel insecure about doing this business because that circumstance happened. Your feeling comes from your thought. Your action then is you stop sharing Plexus, you don't reach out to anyone anymore, and you don't reach out to that person, just simply asking them, why did you turn your subscription off? And then the result of that is your business doesn't grow and it halts. So all of that process from one situation of simply they turn their subscription order off. So what we want to get into the habit of, and Kim and I are going to really focus on this, is stop at the circumstance, just identify what that circumstance is, and let's start reframing the rest from there so that you have a better result at the end. Okay. All right. So every week we're going to be spending like 20 minutes or so educating you on something, and then we're going to take the next 10 minutes and do something action-based. So today, because we have such a great month of sharing, and also I'm talking fast because I do want to be respectful of the 30 minutes. This is some people's lunch hour and we don't want to be overdoing it each week for you. So today, what I want you to focus on is really helping people get their 6 ambassadors this month. You focus on recruiting 3 and developing a silver. If you can get to 6 and develop a silver, fantastic. But we really want you to work on duplicating and getting as many silvers as you can going forward. So many of you are fantastic recruiters, and actually a lot of you are great developers too. I'm not saying that you guys aren't. But I think most people on this team are really great at recruiting and then struggle a little bit in the duplication side. So we really want to flip that. Like I said, some of you are really great at both, which is awesome. So what I want you to do right now is I had you get that list out of people who've been ordering the products for more than 2 months. So looking at that list right now, this is what you're going to start doing as a part of your customer care process is starting to ask for shout out posts. Okay. But first, what you need to do is you need to connect with them and find out what has their benefits and improvements been so that you know how to formulate that shout out post. So I want you today, after we get off this call, to reach out to 3 people, just 3 people who have been using the products for 2 or more months. And just simply ask them, hey, I will send you the verbiage in our thread right now. Let me gather it. All right. Hey, Brandy, Plexus check-in here. I love hearing positive Plexus updates from time to time, and I love your commitment to your journey. Can you tell me 3 positive things that you've experienced since starting the products? That's all you got to do is message that, and I'm going to put it in the thread right now, to 3 people who've been using the products for more than 2 months so that they have a length of time where they've experienced some really great things. So I want you to do that first. literally just copy and paste. You don't have to do it this second, but at some point today, send that out to 3 people, obviously change the name, to get what their benefits have been. Once they've done that, you're going to send them this. Okay, so that you've gathered their 3 positive things. Now you're going to ask them for a shout out. Okay. Hey, Brandy, I know you're loving or thank you for sharing your changes, and I'll put this in the thread. Thank you for sharing your positive changes with me. I'm so thankful for your commitment to your journey. Would you mind putting up a post on Facebook and give me a shout out? I will send you the post, just copy and paste. It's so easy. If I sent you that post, would you post it? ? Okay. You're going to send that to each of those 3 people after you hear their 3 positive things. When they come back to you, and again, I'll put this in the chat. When they come back to you and say, yeah, sure, I'll put a post up there, then you will send them exactly what they need to say. You're going to put in there what those positive things are. For example, I want to thank my friend Brandy for telling me about her gut health system. It has helped get rid of my sugar cravings, improve my mood, help me lose weight, ! I feel better than I have in a long time. Thank you, Brandy. Okay, that's it. So they're going to put that post up, and then you are going to watch their post and see who's commenting or liking on that. That's how you're going to get them silver. Okay, we're gonna use that approach to help people go silver. Okay, because once they start seeing that there's people interested, liking or commenting on it, they're going to have that vision in their mind that absolutely, I can do this. I can share this with people. That is a much more successful way than and not to say there is a time or place for both, but it's great to just reach out to someone and say, hey, there's an Apple Watch this month. Do you want to try to grab a few friends with you and earn that? There's absolutely a time and place for that. And some of you are very successful with that and do that successfully. That's awesome. And I've done that too. But I definitely feel that it is a lot more beneficial to help people see that vision that they can absolutely do this without them thinking right away, yes, I want to work this business and go silver or get a few people, right? You want them to just put that out there, non-threatening for themselves. They're shouting you out, and then they can see that they are having friends that are inquiring or interested. And then you vision cast for them and show them, yeah, look at this. And oh my gosh, there's an Apple Watch on the table this month. Let's get them to join you and help them earn that as well. Okay. So that's a step-by-step process. I'm going to put it in the chat, and I want you to just focus on 3 people. 3 people that have been committed with you in their journey and have had success. And then we're going to use our 90-day chat thread to talk through this. When you guys get a response from someone, say, hey, this is the response. What do you think? And we can help each other through that, because everyone in this group has so many different skill sets. And it's not just Kim and I leading this. We are all doing this together. And so many of you are so great at so many things that you can help each other through this as well. Okay. And we can get different ideas from each other. All right. So I talked fast. I know. I will put all of that in the chat thread for you. It's 12:46. So I do want to be respectful of your time. Focus on 3 today and keep us updated in the chat on how you're doing. Kim, do you want to say anything else?
No, I think that's good. Do you guys have any questions?
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll put that stuff in the chat right now. All right. Bye-bye.